How did I lose $3,000 on Forex? Bro, where do I even start? I mean, I was probably just like you. I was sold the dream of a passive income. I wanted to make my money work for me while I sleep and basically live my life on the fullest. I mean, sounds great, who wouldn't want that? Well, this is the first mistake I made because there is no such a thing as a passive income. Well, let me tell you about it. Every income there is in the world, it's not on passive income. And now you will say, well, how about these real estate people who have a lot of real estate and their real estate is working for them and is bringing them money every month and all this bullshit. Well, it's not on passive income, bro. Did you know that these people who bought all this real estate had to basically go through hell and sweat their ass off to come to this position where they now have a bunch of properties around the world and they have a bunch of money? Literally, there is no such a thing as a passive income. So I'm chatting with my cousin about all these ideas of earning money online. We're trying out drop shipping, we're trying out fucking agency, we're trying out this method from, the period where restaurant owners basically could get a lot of money from the government by some law. We tried that. We tried, cold calls, cold emails, fucking short form content, everything. We basically tried everything. And my cousin comes with this great idea one day and he said, well, bro, there is this bot on Forex that basically trades for you, and he's basically your worker. You just put your money and he basically trades on auto mode and it brings you money. And I was like, well, that sounds too good to be true, kind of. Well, it was too good to be true. And my cousin was like, well, I will put some money in it and I'll see if it's good, and if it's good then you can put money too. And I was like, well, that sounds great. So my cousin put in some money in this bot that trades automatically, and he basically starts earning money. It's not crazy money, but with like $1,500 invested, he was earning like $500 per month, which is actually not that bad. Like passive income, not doing anything, that's great actually. Some people work like 8 hours a day for this type of money. And my cousin is getting this money for like a month or two, and he's sending me all these profits every day, and he's like, well, today this bot made $40, today it made $50, today it made $60. And I'm like, bro, I'm like, right now I could be invested in this thing and I'm basically losing money. So what happens is, I'm like, screw it, I will put money into this bot, and basically I won't even have to work. I have this job that I'm working in my business in my country, but I was like, I won't even have to like put in so much time into this. I can put my whole work and time into YouTube, and that's great. And this passive income will just bring me money. So what I do is I put $1,500 in this thing, and from day one it starts like getting some good profit. It's like one day it's $20, one day it's $100, one day it's $30, but the average was like $50 a day. So at the end of the month it's like around $500 of passive income. You literally don't have to do anything. You just put the money, press follow this trader, and that's all. It brings you money on auto. So what happens is I put this money and I was like, bro, I'm in this like a month or two, and I put in $1,500, and some months went by and I doubled my money. So I'm like on $3,000 right now in like 3 months. And I'm like, bro, what? I made like $1,500 in 3 months by doing nothing. This is great, bro. I can literally sell everything and put my whole life savings in this bot, and it can basically bring me like a lot more money than it's bringing me now. And I'm starting to make these movies in my head, bro. Literally, I was like, well, if I convince my dad to put his life savings into this bot, we can put like so much money. It's gonna bring like $500 a day, bro. We could be rich from these things. And I'm getting like all hyped up and everything, and everything is great. Like I doubled my money basically in 3 months, which is like crazy return on investment in any business out there. And I'm like, bro, this is great. I will never get my money out of this. They will basically multiply. I'm starting to calculate like a year from now I will have this much money, 2 years from now I will have this much money, 10 years. I'm like, bro, in 20 years I could buy a fucking house with this type of money. I was literally that kind of deep into this. And we were talking with my cousin, we were like, oh, this is great, this bot is like our worker, he's basically like, we're joking around, he's like our slave or something. And we were like, this is great. And I'm like to my cousin, bro, should I put like more money into this? Maybe $5,000-$10,000? He's like, well, don't hurry up too much, because I mean, it's not that, like, it's not 100% sure one day, like, we can lose all of this money. And I'm like, yeah, whatever, like, and by the way, when I invested this money in, this $1,500, when I invested them, I was like, if I lose this money, I'm okay with it. Like, I know this is a kind of a risky investment, and if I lose them, I mean, it won't change anything to me. I make that money in like 2 weeks or something, and it won't change anything for me. So I'm like, well, that's good. Some time passed by, and my cousin sent me a screenshot where he lost like $1,200 from this thing. And I open my account and I see like, oh, everything in red. I'm basically like down $800 or something. And my cousin is freaking out. He was like, oh my god, if this things goes back to my like original investment, I'm getting all my money out. I'm like, chill, bro, it's not millions of dollars. Like, chill, it's nothing crazy. If we lose that, we lose that. I mean, we move on with life, it's nothing crazy. Every night you would get an email from this bot, and you're like, this day you've made like this much money, or this day you've lost this much money. And the thing with this kind of bot is it didn't really have stop losses. You know, when you trade Forex, you set take profit and you set like stop loss so you don't lose all of your money. And the problem with this bot is that it didn't have stop losses, but at the time I actually didn't know this. And I actually later I realized why my cousin was freaking out, because he was like, well, we can lose all this money. And that day my cousin lost like $1,700, something like that. Like, he inputted $1,500 and he went to like 3,200, something like that. And then he lost all his profits. And he was actually smart, and he was like, screw this, I'm not leaving my money in this. This is like the casino, I'm out. And he basically like got out his original investment, which he put it in this bot, and he actually got out and he was like with zero. He didn't lose money, he didn't gain money, at least he gained some experience. And he was like kind of depressed for 3 days straight from this. But what happened to me, I mean, you probably know from the title, is a little bit more painful. And by the way, my cousin warned me. He was like, this is a risky thing, you might as well get your money out. And by the way, the day that he lost all this money, I profited like $200. And I'm like, bro, how can this happen to you? I mean, you lost $1,700, I gained $200. And I'm like, well, I will probably never go down like you, like. And I'm like, I'm never getting my money out, this is great. And I'm sitting on like $3,000, and at the time I was in Switzerland, I was visiting my brother, and I just get the notification. By the way, the day that my cousin lost all his money, my account recovered, and like I said, I profited $200. And one day I'm in Switzerland, I'm basically enjoying the nature, and all of a sudden I open this app where you check the profits and losses and everything, and I literally see my whole portfolio in red again. And I'm like, oh well, it's probably nothing, this happened like 1 or 2 times before. And I'm actually happy. I'm like, oh well, this is actually great, because I hope at the end of the day I'm like $200 in profit. And I'm like, well, this is nothing to worry about. This bot will get out of this mess, it will sort itself out, there is nothing to worry about. And my cousin was like, this might be actually pretty serious. So I'm like, well, I don't even worry about it. I'm actually traveling around. I'm like, I will just leave it. And I'm actually asking the guys that that helped me set this thing up. I'm like, should I get my money out right now? Like, I remember being at somewhere around $1,500, my original investment, and everything else was in red. And I'm like, should I get my money out, or should I leave this thing to actually bring back my profits? And they're like, no, just leave it, it's okay. And I'm like, okay, well, if they say so, it must come back to my original, like, $3,000 thing. And I'm like, nothing to worry about here. And the thing with this kind of bot was that, as I'm not really into Forex, but as I remembered and as I figured it out, like, it basically bought the high, and when it dipped, like, it took profit or something. I'm not really sure, but it was something like that. And that day there was some news about USA, something about war coming out, and the market was basically like flipping upside down. And I like go to bed not really worried about anything. I get this email like you are minus 100 something, $1,500 or something. I'm like, nothing to worry about. This thing will get sorted in like a couple of days. And the time I was in Switzerland, I remember going out with my brother and his friends from Switzerland, and we're all sitting around, and they're and they're talking about their phones they have. And I basically bring two phones, my iPhone that I'm recording this right now and my Samsung. And they're chatting like the friend of my brother got his 24 S24 Ultra and he's like, oh look, I have this type of phone. And I'm like sitting down, having two phones, by the way. All these people have like some regular phones from like $500. And I'm like, well, what do you know about expensive phones? And I basically get out my two phones, which cost like $3,000 both. And they're like, oh, what are you doing with two phones? And I'm like, oh, business, brother, business. Bro, this was so pathetic. And I'm like, business, and checking all these losses that is like notification after notification, lost. And I'm like, oh, no, it's nothing to worry about. It's business. And I remember waking up the next day and my whole account is wiped out, bro. I have literally, if I don't have the application right now, I deleted it because I got mad. But if I open it, I literally went from $3,000 to something like $3, bro. Literally my whole account, my original investment, my profits, everything wiped out. And I'm like, I'm waking up and I'm checking my account and I'm like, well, shit. And my cousin is like, well, I told you, you should have gotten your money out and all this. And actually, I wasn't that angry. I wasn't that disappointed. I was kind of disappointed. Yeah, it's not little money. But I know that in this world, in this Forex and crypto world, $3,000 is like nothing, bro. It's like $30 for like the Joe Schmo. And I'm like, well, if I get mad about losing $3,000, what am I gonna do in future if I have to lose $3 million, bro? I will have to kill for something. This is basically how I went through the situation without having breakdown on or falling in depression like my cousin. I remember being like losing all this money and being like, whatever, bro, it is what it is. I remember the day I put my money into this thing, I was like, if I lose this money, I won't care. And I basically didn't care when I lost. I was like, if I lose this money, I won't care, and that's actually what happened. And this is the lecture I learned from this thing. I was like, this is not actually a bad thing. This is actually a test from God. I really believe that God gave me this test to see how I react to losing money. And like I said, in future he will give me like millions of dollars. God basically wants to see how I react to losing this type of money. Like for me, $3,000 right now, it's not that little money. Like you can literally buy a car with that money where I'm from. And I'm like, well, I mean, it's a bad situation, but whatever. It's lecture, it's a test from God. I would rather lose this money and have the experience that I got rather than saving this $1,500 or $3,000. I'm like, I'm actually glad that this happened, bro, because I gained so much experience about Forex, about trading, about crypto, about everything. And I was like, well, actually, I was like grateful because I know that God is preparing me for so much bigger things and He wants to see if I can handle this loss. Because like I said, in future when something bad happens, maybe I get hit by a tax or something and I'm like, I have to pay $3 million to the government, I won't actually care. By that time I would have like $50 million and I would have to pay $3 million to the government and I won't actually fall into depression or try to kill myself because of $3 million. I mean, I see $3,000 same as $3 million, bro. I mean, it's same. It's like 𝐓𝐡𝐢𝐻 said it. It's numbers on the screen. I don't really care. I know this is a lecture. I know this is a test from God. I think I passed this test because if I actually was sad and like was depressed and was regretting and I was like crying about it, I know that I would have failed the test and God wouldn't give me like the money I want. Like I'm asking God for millions of dollars. How dare I not expect to lose some little money on the way to my millions, bro? I'm actually not mad. I'm grateful for that opportunity. I just wanted to tell you to be actually careful around these things. I made this video to like make a disclaimer to remind you to be careful. For me, $3,000 is nothing. Like it's not like I'm living on the streets and I put all my savings into this. If I actually went out and sold everything and I put my life savings into this thing, maybe I would have been more mad. But I would still be like stoic, like it is what it is. And I learned this key thing that's the stoic way of thinking, and it's to reduce importance on literally everything, bro. Everything, whether it happens something good, whether something bad happens, it's like whatever. If something good happens, good. If something bad happens, even better. It's a lecture, it's a test. I'm getting stronger by this. I'm learning all these lectures, and I'm like, this is not a problem for me. But if you have like, if $3,000 is like all the money you have, and you don't have like income, this is maybe money that you saved for like 5 years, and you see this trader online that is telling you, just give me your money, I will trade for you and you will become rich overnight. You actually have to think twice before doing this. And this is the thing, if you ask God for great things like I do, like I ask God for millions of dollars, for mansions, for yachts, for, you know, all these crazy cars and all this beautiful lifestyle, and like how dare I not expect to have bumps along the way. Like I get hit with like $3,000 loss, bro. I handle it like it's nothing. I know, like literally know that in future I will have millions, and I will think about this time I lost $3,000 and I will be laughing, bro. I would probably spend that money on like lunch in Dubai or somewhere in like a couple of years from now. So it's all about experiences, but be cautious. Like whatever you invest, be ready to lose. If you have some money that you want to invest, be like me. If you lose this money, like before you even invest, set your mindset right. If you lose this money, it won't affect you. Have this mindset. If it happens, good. If not, even better. You literally should reduce the importance. So be careful when you put your life savings in some kind of investments online, because I mean, this bot was not a scam, but it actually lacked one thing, which is a stop loss, and that stop loss cost me like $3,000, but I won't complain about it because it was a great lecture. After like 1 or 2 weeks, I invested even more money into some other thing, on something other, trading or something. But I will actually keep you updated on that thing, which is what I'm trying out right now. If I lose that money again, I will sit on this chair and then make another video.